Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Rich Perez welcoming you back into another dose of the weekly rundown. Joining with me, as always, my brother from another, my co-host, Kayson Davis. How you doing, Kay?
Good. I'm doing good today, man. It feels good to be back. New week, man. I got another shout out. Shout out to my little cousin for the hoodie, man. Exclusive drip on Instagram if y'all need one, man.
Shout out to Exclusive Drip, man. You see me, I got the Yankees jersey on today too. Season's officially back on Thursday. I had to switch up the glasses too, man. I was rocking the Ray-Bans before we did the James Burrows. Shameless plug, shameless plug. First and foremost, I want to thank Eric Horn once again for coming on. That was a big look. We appreciate that a ton. Got some great insight from him, some great tips and everything. So big shout out to Eric Horn.
Definitely big shout out to him, like you said. And y'all make sure I go check that episode out. He's like you said, he said some good things on there. All serious, Thunder fans, you guys gonna love this one, man. We talked a lot of Thunder hoops.
Absolutely. So we had breaking news literally just in like the last hour. The NFL offered the NFLPA zero preseason games. Why do I say this is big news? Because if there's anything that we've learned from NFL players, specifically veteran NFL players, they do not enjoy the preseason. A lot of times the star players don't even play in the preseason. Have your quarterback take like a couple snaps during a preseason game, maybe even like one or two, and then go right out and put it back up in there. So in that sense, it's a really big deal. I couldn't imagine why the Players Association wouldn't take it. We don't know. We haven't heard anything about it affecting checks or anything like that. So, it's something they in the sense that, it's something that we know that they want, number one, and for the guys that do play in preseason, it's a chance for them to be able to make sure that their bodies really are ready to go when prime time gameplay happens. Now, the downside to that is guys that are trying to make a roster now, instead of them having a second chance to show what they can do in a real game setting, all they really have is training camp now. By the way, training camp is opening up tomorrow.
Yeah, like you said, I think I don't see why the players might not take it with everything that's going on with the COVID stuff. I think most, like you said, most veteran players and stuff like that don't play the preseason. So I think they probably will take the deal. It's interesting. I think that kind of shows that the NFL. I know they said that they kind of wasn't going to try the bubble thing situation type of thing. I think that shows that they're still kind of worried about the COVID, and maybe that not having a preseason gives them a couple extra weeks to maybe hope something gets figured out or something. But I think that right there lets us know that the NFL at least is concerned about it a little bit, because I think when you think that they wasn't gonna do the bubble or nothing, they kind of made it seem like, hey, we're just gonna go play, still travel and stuff like that. So this lets us know that it's on their mind at least. So, and like you said, for the players, it's for the younger players, the rookies, people who are not veterans, people who are trying to make the team and stuff like that. It kind of hurts them. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they do about that. If maybe we have more practice players on teams and stuff like that. So it's gonna be interesting. I feel bad for the guys, who's not gonna get the chance to kind of shine in preseason to make a team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as fans too, you kind of want to see something. Like I remember last preseason with Daniel Jones, being a guy that roots for the Giants, getting a chance to see him for the first time in like an actual game setting after not being so enthusiastic about the draft pick and saying, I know it's preseason, but he looks pretty good. So that's something there that you don't really get to see if in fact they do take this deal that the NFL has laid out for them.
Yeah, definitely. I think, like I said, it's gonna like I feel bad for the rookies and the younger players, the maybe veteran players who just not signed a contract. I feel bad for them. So I hope something they can kind of work something out. Like I said, maybe more practice players or something. But I think that's valuable game reps and stuff like that missed for the younger players, and even like you said, for the fans to kind of see some of the players who maybe we wasn't high on, and maybe for the fans who don't watch college football enough, and to see who like their team drafted and stuff. So when we do see them, it's going to be hitting the ground running. It's going to be like straight games that matter. So it's like it's going to be kind of tough, but it's going to be interesting. But I think like with everything that's going on with COVID, everyone kind of has to just take it how it is, and it could work for the best. So, like I said, I hope that they find something else to help these players and maybe younger players and stuff like that, or undrafted players like that. I hope they find something for them so they still have a chance to make it.
Yeah, 100%. The other thing too I wanted to mention as far as the with the NFL goes, just in terms of the here in New York or Jersey, as a matter of fact, the Giants and the Jets, will not have any fan attendance for any home games this season. The governor of New Jersey, pretty much put that out there. So no fans. The atmosphere. It's already. I don't know anybody who's got a chance to watch the baseball games. They're doing a good job of trying to get as much in there as possible for the fans to keep going. Like with the MLB, I know, especially watching the Yankees, they've got that fan noise in there, and then like cardboard. You can buy a cardboard cutout to put in the stadium. But I don't know if that's going to be something that the Jets and the Giants might think of doing. But I guess in terms of like the players themselves, it's going to be a little different to maneuver. Maybe they'll feel like they're in training camp during the season or whatnot. But
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what players feel like is less pressure. Some people, like we heard about Dwight Howard making maybe multiple free throws in a row in practice and stuff, and then you get in the game with the crowd yelling at you and stuff, and just how different it feels and stuff. So it's gonna be interesting to see what players maybe play better and excel their game with no fans in there. It's interesting because I think Baltimore said that they're gonna try to still get fans in. I think they just I think we talked about it before. They're gonna try to social distance people in the stadium. So I think where New York was and kind of how we're on the downside of everything, and it could spike back up, but right now we've been going down. So I think they just where we were. I think we're not trying to get back to kind of because we were kind of at the worst. So we're kind of not trying to get back there. So they just probably playing on the safe side because they don't want to be back over there.
yeah, 100%. I mean, it's probably this is just here with the Giants and the Jets that are saying this, but in terms of other teams, maybe we could see some type of social distance, fans in there going on. I don't know how things are looking in Baltimore right now, so we could find out and see if that's even possible for them. But we'll find out. I know it's gonna be tough, not having a fireman Ed there for the Jets or a license plate guy for the Giants, but it's something we got to rock with.
Yeah, maybe they you said they try to get fan noise in there. I know that the NBA is thinking about using some 2K noise. We have Madden. Madden's a big game. I know people play it, so maybe they can get some of the Madden noise in there.
Yeah. Well, to move on from there, getting right into hoops now. We were just talking about this. I think last episode too. Not last episode, the episode before that, with the huge signings of Jamal Crawford and Michael Beasley, two guys who when you need scores, those are two guys that you want. Unfortunately, Michael Beasley is contracted COVID-19, so he went back home. He will not return for the Brooklyn Nets. Instead, the Brooklyn Nets are signing Justin Anderson, who plays both the guard and forward positions. So that's somebody you can stick to defend, multiple positions there. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know the name. I don't know too much about him. I'm gonna say right now, I don't think he's gonna be what Michael Beasley could be for you. But what we're seeing right now is teams in the league are not going to let this virus shut this thing down. If you have coronavirus, they're gonna move on from you and bring somebody in there to kind of keep this train rolling.
Yeah, I think that before we get to the team thing, I think it's kind of just I feel bad for Michael Beasley. He was kind of out the league this year, and this could have been a great opportunity for him. Like we talked about, the team kind of needs veterans to come in and score, and I think this could have been a great opportunity for him. We kind of didn't bring this up last time, but he's really great friends with KD. So if he was able to come in and show what he can do, he might have been able to stay on the team for a couple of years. So just I feel bad for him to start off, but team wise, I know Justin Anderson a little bit. He's like you say, he's not going to bring what Michael Beasley could bring scoring wise, but he's just a hard worker. He's always working on defense and stuff like that. He's kind of like I say, he's kind of one of those hard workers, one of the guys going to dive on the floor, kind of PJ Tucker type of guy, not the shooter, corner shooter like PJ Tucker, but he's just like a hard worker. So, and like you said, teams are not going to let the virus stop it. If like Michael Beasley went home, unfortunately, he couldn't come back. We're just going to try to find someone else and kind of fill it in and try to get the season out the way. As far as what they're going to do for next season, that's going to be interesting. But for now, I think they're just trying to get the season out the way since it was cut short.
Yeah, it's gonna be a wait. It's gonna be a wait and see approach as far as next season comes around. I think we kind of talked about that when we were talking to Eric too. But in terms of like how far ahead of the curve the NBA is as opposed to the other leagues. So when you talk about what they're going to be able to do moving forward, I like just as somebody who's watching what the NBA has been doing, how they've been able to put all this together. They and just with everything, the way they've been able to market themselves, the way they go about treating their players, giving their players a voice as opposed to the other leagues. We really don't see that too much. I have nothing but confidence in how the NBA is going to move. For the following season.
Yeah, same. We're gonna kind of get into it later with the stuff that's been going on with them, but I think they like I said, their bubble situation seems like it's kind of working out so far. So, like you said, they kind of been ahead with everything. So you hope that we figure that they'll probably figure out for next season. It's just I guess we kind of just hope for the players that they stay safe and be able to come play. I think next year with the whole season, if someone does contract coronavirus, they'll be out for about maybe 2 to 3 weeks, and they'll be able to make it back. Right now, we're kind of hitting the ground running with 8 games and then the playoffs. So it's kind of like if Michael Beasley going home because he has corona, he's going to miss the next 2 to 3 weeks. Kind of hurts him, especially that because he wasn't with the team before. He's kind of just joining the team now. So, like you said, we're going to wait and see. But like with the NBA's approach, you think it'll work out?
Yeah. And just sticking to the topic a little bit, reported by Shams Charania of the excuse me, reported by Shams Charania of the Athletic earlier today. 0 NBA players tested positive for coronavirus out of 346 tested at the Orlando campus since the last results were announced on July 13th. That's a really big deal. It lets you know out the gate what they're doing is working. They are not playing. Guys that went over the lines were immediately quarantined. That snitch line, the the hotline, people are calling. I don't know how we feel about snitching or not. But it is what it is. They want to make sure that this thing is happening. So guys are they have not tested positive. Some guys have left. Obviously, Zion left for I believe a family emergency. Montrezl Harrell left for some personal reasons as well. Eric Horn let us know that Dennis Schroeder's actually planning to leave soon. He's with the birth of his child coming up, and pretty much what it is as long as these guys are following the rules, the only way that somebody's going to contract the virus is if one of these guys that had to leave for whatever reason come in and bring it back. But they're doing a good job with it. If you leave and come back, you got to be quarantined.
Yeah, I think, like you said, it's big, especially just to show because a lot of people didn't know how this bubble is going to work out. I know a lot of people saying the living situation and maybe the food situation stuff hasn't been the best, but this shows that it's working. So no matter kind of how the situation that you're in, that it works. So as long as people follow the rules, like you said with the snitch line, if someone's out there telling people are just trying to make sure everybody's safe, and it shows that it works. It's just going to be interesting to see how, like we were just talking about the NFL and kind of how they haven't decided to maybe adopt this bubble idea and kind of gonna go what they do. I know with the NFL, there's more players and stuff like that, more coaches, so it might be a little harder for them. But I think if it keeps working like that, it keeps working like this in the pandemic, it's still kind of going how it's going. I think that's something they maybe should consider. Like the bubble does work. I guess with them, it's like I said, it's gonna be a little harder with more players, more coaches. But I think the bubble is gonna be something that this definitely shows if it stays like this that it works. And I think that's what everyone wanted to see and wanted to know.
Well, let me ask you this then. We're talking about how the bubble and everything works. I think that this is something that can be sustained for the period of time that they need it to happen. 8 regular season games, and throughout the postseason, we'll be done. We'll be officially done with this around September, possibly early October. Now, next season's supposed to start sometime in December, possibly around Christmas, right? Could you see? I just can't a bubble city scenario for the following season?
Yeah, I think that's where it gets interesting. Like I said, we come now, we're kind of hitting the ground running and we're going. So it's easy for people. Some teams are only going to be there for a month, 50 days or so and so. So it may be easier to stay there in a short amount of time when you kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel. But the NBA season, what goes 10 months, 8 months, something like that, to stay there for that whole 8 months and kind of be trapped in, they're going to kind of have to make more accommodation. You're going to have to let people's family come in because right now people's family can't come in. I know a lot of people are not going to go 8, 10 months without seeing their family, you know what I mean? And then just like with the Montrezl Herald and all these other situations, it's going to be family emergencies where people have to leave and come back and stuff like that. So that can kind of hurt it. I think for this short period of time, I guess I should take my comment back and say that it works for this short period of time that we maybe have it. In the long run, I don't know how well it's going to work. Like I said, with just all those other outside factors coming in. And then they have to find somewhere because Disneyland it's opening back up. So that kind of brings more, I guess, interaction with other people. So they might have to find somewhere else to go if they stay on this Disney campus for 8 months. That's kind of Disney has to get back to doing what Disney does. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see how things go. that's just something I'm putting out there. I think they're gonna try and get back to the arenas for the following season, depending on how these waves go and everything. It might take that approach that the MLB and the NFL are planning on taking. So we'll see what happens there. But again, still staying on this similar topic, we talked about a couple of weeks ago. Russell Westbrook had contracted coronavirus. My man, he said he was asymptomatic, and the plan was for him to return to the Rockets in the bubble city once everything was worked out. He made it into Orlando today. He will be quarantined for the next 2 days, and he'll get in there. I think this is perfect. I don't know exactly when he contracted the virus, but this is perfect timing for him and for the Rockets. It allows him a chance to get into the groove with the team in practice and everything. He'll be ready to go. Bearing anything else, knock on wood, he'll be ready. He'll be ready to go for those 8 regular season games, and then go right into the postseason. And we'll be talking about my prediction that the Rockets is going all the way.
Yeah, yeah, my guy, he's back. He's in the bubble. I mean, I was kind of getting a little worried there because they said Tuesday, which I did. They mean this Tuesday or did they mean last Tuesday?
I'm not even too sure myself.
They were saying Tuesday. I felt like he didn't come the day he was supposed to come, but like you said, it could be perfect time. He's going to quarantine for 2 days and to get back out there. It's So you hope for the best and hope that he's healthy. Like you say, he's asymptomatic. It's gonna be interesting with him because he ended the season on such a high. Is he gonna be able to contracting coronavirus right before he came here? Is he gonna be able to come back and still play at the level he was playing before all this kind of happened? Does the time off kind of hurt him? Does the time off kind of help him? Then the virus, we don't know kind of the lingering effects of the virus. So like we kind of hope for the best, but like you said, it could be perfect timing for him to get a little bit of extra rest. That he's been doing a lot, like I said before, with he actually just did something today. We might get into a little later.
Yep. No,
So
it's good right now.
he's been doing a lot just off the protest and stuff like that. So for him to come just get the virus, maybe sit down for a little bit and then get back out there with his team would be great. So that'd be interesting. I think if he comes back playing the way he was playing before, like you said, the Rockets have a chance to do it.
Yeah, and what you were referring to is he is partnering with the NBA Players Association. His clothing line is partnering with the NBA Players Association to design social justice shirts for all NBA players to incorporate some messages that were not approved for jerseys. Messaging options for the new NBA Players Association, Russell Westbrook lifestyle shirts. Systemic racism, police reform, I can't breathe, no justice, no peace. Break the cycle, strange fruit by any means. Power to the people, equality, am I next?
Yeah, like I said, he's been doing a lot. If you've been following him on social media, giving people masks since the pandemic started, he's kind of been on the front line of helping everybody out during this time. So he's kind of, even though the season's been going, we saw him on the internet still working out and stuff like that. So even though the season's been out, he's still been working. So maybe a little quarantine at the time to sit down a little bit and these extra days it would be good for him and be able to get his body back and stuff. So we hope for the best. I think the shirts and stuff is a great idea. If you saw me on Instagram, I bought me one of his shirts the other day. The shirt feels comfortable. I like it. So I think it's a great idea. I wonder, are they going to be able to wear those before the game? Kind of technically how it works, because if the NBA didn't approve them to wear them on the jerseys, are they going to approve them to wear them before the game? Kind of, I guess if they all teamed up like that to do it, I guess then maybe it's all been talked about already. But it's interesting. If they're going to let them wear the shirts and stuff before the game, why not just let them put them on the jersey?
No, I feel you. I think right, because the jersey is something that you're going to see for about an hour and a half to two, not an hour and a half, but like about 2 hours, give or take, as opposed to preseason where you'll get a couple of shots of what they're preseason. You'll get pregame. You'll get a couple of shots of what they're wearing pregame, but you're not really going to get too much of what they're doing in pregame scenarios. So I guess I could kind of decipher a little bit of the difference there. I don't see a reason why they wouldn't allow them to wear this stuff right before, though. Not only do I not see a reason why, but I'd expect them to be able to wear those shirts right before.
Yeah, definitely. I think I don't know what kind of message that sends. Like if you're saying that you can wear it for the 5 minutes we're going to show it, but you can't wear it for the 2 hours that we're going to have you on the court, kind of could be a little fishy to me. I'm happy with what they did, and for them to kind of still get the message out and find the different ways to do it. And like I said, Russ has great shirts. I got one myself, so it'd be interesting. But I think that kind of, I don't know how players may feel about that. Like, okay, the message is good enough for 5 minutes, but it's not good enough for 2 hours.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I definitely understand what you're saying there. But we'll see what happens there. I don't know what else is going on. Hey,
Yeah, well,
now you got something?
I was gonna say, man, shout out to Russ, man. It's time to hit the ground running, man. We back.
Yeah, 100%, man. Let's go. Because I got to be right out here. You know what I'm saying? I've been on this bandwagon for months now. Like, small
Yeah,
ball, baby, is rocking. But,
yeah.
hey, did you see? It's not like official report or anything. It's just kind of been something circulating, and he did an interview, which kind of fueled it a little bit. Mario Chalmers is talking about like how he would want to like have a reunion with LeBron in LA.
I mean, I did see the reports a little bit, but it's kind of like, come on. Of course, he would want to have a reunion with LeBron. What they did in Miami and stuff like that. I mean, what has he really kind of done since he left LeBron? I mean, he's always been like a solid player, but I don't think he was really like a starter kind of after he left. I know he spent some time in Memphis, so I mean, anyone of LeBron's own teammates is going to come out and say, "Hey, I need a point guard. I'm here." You know what I mean? Without Rondo, we know Mario Chavez to knock down shots. I know you can go into it being a Heat fan. I can go into a little bit the Thunder Heat rivalry that's going on for a little bit. But you know, he's known to knock down shots, and the Lakers need to space the floor. So if I'm him, I'm saying, "Hey, Bron, I'm out here. You know, remember me."
Well, I'd like to know how those guys' relationships are because I remember exactly how he was getting treated in Miami by all three of those vets over there. You know, my man was getting yelled at for real. So some people can't take that. They want to throw them hands. But so that's one thing. The other thing too is he was always a serviceable starter. He's actually from the same draft class as Russell Westbrook. And that's a story for another day. He was a serviceable starter. I think where things kind of went. Number one, it started going downhill for him in the 2014 finals. The finals, he lost his starting job to Norris Cole in the finals. Once things started to look bad, and I believe he gained it back the following season, but things just really weren't the same. He ended up hurting his Achilles, and he just never was the same player after that.
Yeah, torn Achilles is always a big injury. That's kind of why we're talking about. We don't know how KD might come back, but I think they always liked him. Like you said, he was a serviceable starter and stuff like that. He was known to knock down shots, but I think they I don't know if they were 100% all in on him. Like you said, the veterans kind of got on him a lot. And I remember what is it, 2011? Mike Bibby took his spot, so his spot has kind of been taken a couple times. So, but like I said, he's a shooter. The Lakers need shooting. They lost Rondo, who's not a shooter, but he's a point guard. I'm a point guard. You guys need shooting. If I'm him, Bron, I can take you yelling at me. So that's not the problem. So if you need a shooter, people may have forgot about me. I haven't been here. I'm gonna bring my name up too. Hey, Bron, I might shoot you a text. How you been? Hey, big head.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know, man. I feel like this thing still might be a tiny bit salty. I remember when after the Last Dance came out, of course that great debate that everybody likes to have of who's better, LeBron or Jordan, was coming up. He got asked about that too, and he might have been a little salt there. I'm just saying. Not that I disagreed with what he said, but just saying, it might have been a little salt there. He instantly answered that was just like, of course it's Mike, hands down. Come on, why were you even talking about this?
But he's more of an older guy, so he kind of grew up maybe idolizing Mike. So you can't knock him too much. I mean, he
But to
grew
answer
up.
that quick with one of your former teammates, I don't even think he went to bat for Braun. He was just like, yeah, straight up, it's Mike.
I mean, listen, like I said, he idolized him growing up, so it's kind of difficult. He played with Braun, so maybe he's not looking at Braun. It's like even some I've seen some players say like we're playing with Braun right now, like we see his greatness, but it's not like a Mike situation. Like when you watch someone growing up idolizing them, it's kind of different. So they're looking at him maybe in different lights. Maybe after Braun's career is over and both of their careers is over, he might look at it different and maybe answer the question a little differently. But I'm gonna give him a little bit of slack on this one, man. He grew up watching Mike, so he's gonna say Mike, of course.
Hey, it is what it is. Hopefully, he gets another shot out there. I kind of miss watching Rio do his thing. I was real happy for him when he got a shot in Memphis. I know he's been playing overseas, so I'm rooting for Rio to make an NBA comeback, man. I'm rooting for all these guys to make an NBA comeback.
I'm rooting for him to make a comeback, but I'll be honest with you, if he doesn't, I'm not gonna be too upset for what he did to my Thunder in that 2012 finals. So he wasn't a big part, but they won. So I'm not gonna be too upset. I'm rooting for you, but if it doesn't happen,
It is what it is.
it is what it is, man. You got your championship, so sit down somewhere.
For sure, man. This was it was a short one, but it was a fun one, man.
Well,
Glad.
I guess before we go, maybe we should get into Zion. Zion left the bubble a little bit. I mean, I guess they think he should be back in time, but there was that report out there saying that the NBA is trying to get that LeBron versus Zion matchup. This could kind of throw a little wrench in that. So what you think?
He's gonna have to be. Did they say when he's gonna come back or no?
I don't think so. I don't know if there's any timetable on this. Kind of just like he left for a family emergency. I think with family emergencies, they're not letting us know exactly what happened. So it could be for multiple ranges of things where it could take longer, could take shorter. It'd be interesting to see though.
Yeah, usually with a family emergency, you'll be gone for a few days and be right back in. But then he's got to quarantine for. They're about like well, they're only making Russell Westbrook quarantine for like 2 days. So I guess maybe have him take a test or two, quarantine for whatever requisite days you need him to quarantine for, and then have him back in there. So we'll see how things go there. I don't think it's going to throw a wrench into these NBA plans a little too much. Hey, and I mean, as a viewer, when you hear the number one pick, the most one of the most electrifying number one picks we've had in years, in Zion Williamson going against LeBron James, who wouldn't want to see that? Now, me, I want to see the best team get in. I hope there's no cheating or anything like that going on. Try to get the Pelicans in there, but I ain't gonna be mad at it regardless.
I
And
mean,
I don't think it's going to throw a wrench in their plans if he can get back in time and everything's good. He's already got a chance to work out with the guys in there already. So
yeah. Well, hopefully he gets back in time. I don't think it'll throw a wrench in their plan either. Like you said, I kind of want to see the best team get in. I don't think the Pelicans will get in anyway, but hopefully he comes back in time. Like you said, we don't know exactly what the situation may be. So prayers up to him and his family, kind of whatever they're going through. But hopefully he gets back in time, man. I still don't think they're gonna get in, but I'm going with the Blazers. Still going with the Blazers.
I'm still going with the Blazers myself. I actually not only do I think the Blazers are going to get in, and we talked about this before, I think the Blazers are a dangerous matchup for anybody that has to go up against them because of the fact that they're going to have all these guys in that were hurt for the entire season, and that's going to be fits for anybody, including the Lakers, who have realistic championship hopes. So, hey, like because we messed up last week. We said it would have been Lakers Dallas. It's whoever gets that 8th seed. If it's Blazers, I can see that one go with 6. Hey, I can see it go with 7. I'm just saying.
I mean, they just lost
Dame
Avery
time,
Bradley.
baby. Dame time, baby. The man makes the craziest, clutchest shots in NBA history. He did it to your Thunder a year ago. He's done it to the Houston Rockets. Like it's the stuff this man does when you need him to come through is just it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, like I said this before. They have Dame; he's a superstar, so you kind of expect them to get in. He kind of like the only super. They also have CJ Mello, so like you said, they have pieces and some pieces coming back. So I can expect them to get in just off of that because the other teams are kind of more younger and stuff like that. But 6 possibly without Avery Bradley being there, Rondo kind of being there, kind of hurts the Lakers a little bit. I don't know if JR is going to bring that the defense on that side of the ball. So Dame and CJ could give him some trouble in the backcourt. So I can see it going 6. I mean, you bring up how clutch he's been in the playoffs. He's also people have also talked about him not showing up a lot. I mean,
That's true. That's true too. Because I don't know
so
where that man was after that series was over.
yeah, after the OKC series, he kind of, but it's another one of those things for me. If I had a choice, I think I'd go with the Memphis. I want to see Memphis get in. I don't think they're going to get in, but if I had a choice,
I
I think
wouldn't
I'd
mind
pick
Memphis
Memphis.
getting in either. I think just as much as we talk about how great it would be to see Zion go against LeBron, how about Ja Morant getting in there? The guy he's going to win Rookie of the Year. Let's face it, he's earned it. That's where I like to say instead of deserve. He's earned it. And they have a good young team. I know you gave me a face before when I said not saying that they remind me of Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, the players, too much, but the dynamic there of that young Memphis team reminds me a lot of the dynamic that was with that young Oklahoma City team back in 2010, 2011.
Yeah, I definitely I see what you're saying. My point is, I just don't think Jaren Jackson is a KD.
No, I'm
He's
not saying he's a KD. It's more the dynamic for me than anything else. And I think Jaren Jackson is going to be a really good player. He could possibly become an all-star in the future.
same. But KD is just even Eric Horn getting back to him. He when he was talking about, he said just watching him play was just like crazy. So I don't think Jaren Jackson be that. But like I said, I want to see Memphis. I think they'll be more exciting to see. But I'm gonna go with the veterans and stuff. I think that Dame and them getting. I think they probably have a better shot, like you said, to taking the 7 and maybe getting the upset. But it depends on what Dame we're gonna get. Are we gonna get Dame from the OKC series, from that Rocket series, or are we going to get Dame who kind of doesn't show up like against the Warriors, against the Nuggets, kind of? So it depends on what Dame we're going to get. But to see Melo and Bron go at it one more time, which might be our last time seeing it, it would be great to see too. So it's not only Dame, it's Melo, it's CJ. Uh, what's the big man again? His name, I forgot his name right. I kind of can't say his name. What's his name? Joke. That's not Joker. It's a
No, not
Jokic.
joking. He used to play for the Nuggets, though.
It's like
Uh,
Jokic.
no,
I get sorry for mispronouncing his name. But he's coming back. They got some pieces over there, so they, like I said, they'll make it interesting. They're veterans. They've been there. They're not going to shy away. The Lakers kind of being hurt in the backcourt a little bit. They got need Deion Waiters and J.R. Smith to kind of step it up defensively. Caldwell Pope. They got the Caldwell Pope to step it up defensively.
Nurkic.
So
It was Nurkic.
Nurkic, there you go.
Yusuf Nurkic.
Excuse me for saying your name wrong. Yeah. So CJ, Dame, and then the Lakers kind of being weak in the backcourt without Avery Bradley, weak defensively in the backcourt without Avery Bradley and Rondo. So it's going to be an interesting series if the Blazers get in.
Yeah, Melo's got a new persona too. It's skinny Melo now. You know, we've had hoodie Melo, we've had Olympic Melo. Now we got skinny Melo. So skinny Melo is gonna be out here ready to go along with Dame Dollar and CJ and Yusuf Nurkic and Canner don't even play for them no more. But they got a group of guys over there.
Skinny Melo better be ready to go because if they get in, they move him back to that 3. He's gonna be guarding Bron. So glad you got back in shape because if y'all get in, it's gonna be a big one. Like I said, fans, we want to see that one more time just in case that it doesn't happen again to see a Melo Bron series. So I'm excited for that.
I'm very excited for myself. That like I said before, that is my pick to get in. Do we have anything else?
No, I think that's it. That is your rundown this week.
Yeah, all right, man. So thank you guys for tuning in again. We've been busy this week. We're gonna stay busy this week. Hey, if you're watching this, we do have a mailbag for you guys. If when you check out our website, please subscribe to our mailing list. We've got a bunch of content coming. I promise. We talked about it a lot. We will start getting some articles out there. We got more guests coming in. We got more weekly rundowns for you. Why wouldn't you want to tune in to us?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the last 2 we had Syracuse, we had OKC, kind of my side. But next one, we're bringing in a Miami Heat writer for Rich. So you guys look out for that one.
We're ready to go, man. We are ready to go. So thank you guys for tuning. And I'm going to stand too. I got some stuff here to put up. But we're going to be ready to go for that one, man. We're real excited to get that one done. But that was your weekly rundown, man. It's Kayson, it's Rich. We'll see you guys next time.